Alright, hello, hello, welcome in, welcome in. And everything's already on fire. Hello, hello. How is everybody? Hello, Raoul, hello, Stockler, hello, Void, hello, Silence, hello, Zangetsu, hello, Kalamex, hello, Sim0, hello, MG, hello, Eritane, hello, Babylon, hello, 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 Sako, hello, Lilith, hello, Austin Fox, welcome in, welcome in. Hello, Janu. I am nervous. I'm very nervous. I'm both nervous because I need to like make sure that everything's working properly. Babylon, thank you so much for continuing the membership. Thank you, I appreciate it. I need to move those alerts so badly. Thank you though. Hello, 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 Stockler. Welcome back, thank you! I am glad to be back. I am still trying to sort of get my bearings again. Trying to make sure that everything is, like, set up the way it needs to be, make sure everything's gonna be working solidly enough. Hello, Shadow Okami, hello, Uncreative, hello, Blood Suli, and hello, Not Hitori. Insert stock explosion gif here. I just want to, like, make sure that I had everything right, and then, I still ran into some technical issues, but we got them fixed. And yeah, this is, I know nothing about what I'm going to be reading today. I know absolutely nothing. But from the promotional artwork, it sounds like this is a very interesting story to come back to. So that shall be interesting, I think.
Siamzero just supported the Prismatic Fox for 10. You are. Starlight is back. She finally got the milk, eggs, and cheese.
Oh my gosh. Thank you, Siam0, for the Kofi. Thank you. I appreciate it, yes. Came back with all the dairy. Learned a lot of different things about dairy and Lucinari recently. Excited to share that with you all at some point. Immediately gets everyone going with a mention of cheese. Hello, Vesta. Welcome in, welcome in. Someone out there has found a way to have a technical issue while drawing with a pencil on paper. I'm sure of it. Probably. It's like when you're too used to, working digitally, and you try to Control Z on your physical paper. That would be it. Milk, egg, cheese, add flour, and we're making killer crepes. Heck yeah! Oh, we're not gonna talk about flour. But thank you, Sim0. I appreciate it. Alright. I need to not avoid this any further. So, we are going to jump in here, unless there's any last minute things that anyone needs to let me know with the time I've been gone. The upside of being off work today because I get to be here for stream. I'm sorry that you're not feeling well, Bushmaster. I hope that things go better. But I'm happy to have you here. Understand us, Star, we didn't have our shared cheese moon and we didn't vent our Monday energy. Fair enough. Alright. Everyone's good during your absence except THLVH. Oh no. THLVH was great. Well, Silence says that they were the best, so I'm not really sure what to make of that since that's not THLBH, so. Monday energy has to go somewhere. Vessa tried to do a coup? I think I did see that, yes. Oh, goodness. Alright. Let's jump in here since I started late enough as is. Alright, make sure I remember how to do all of this correctly. We will turn this down, we will have this on, and we'll jump in here. There we go. Alright. And if I understand, we're going straight into the archives today.
A rare bit of fine weather. A rare bit of leisure.
Is it fine weather? I'm not really sure. I guess it depends on where you are. Alright. Let's see. Go to intelligence. Special operation. I am going in totally blind here, so we'll see what awaits it, I suppose. Alright. Vigilo. Interesting. Okay. Let's see how this goes. Alright. Space. "5:20 p.m. Clear. Columbia City, Toronto. The name's Dylan, Rhodes Island low-altitude aircraft pilot. I'm currently running pell-mell around the city. I should be sitting in the cockpit of my aircraft, joystick in hand. The only things I should be facing down are turbulence and terrain. Instead, I'm clutching one half of an automatic assault crossbow in my hands, and hell, the first time I heard of this model was earlier this morning. Even just half of it is damned heavy. My palms are all sweaty. If I have to end up in a war zone, I sure as hell shouldn't be on the ground, let alone in some dark alley in Colombia. I just hope to God that my enemy isn't... Ugh. Dylan! Got my hands full over here. Can you help a gal out and tell me what it says? It says police. The police of Toronto. He started it. But it seems probably not the real deal. A real botch job if I've ever seen one. At least he looked the part. Pretty much the same as the guys up on the roof earlier this morning. Better than the ones that didn't have a uniform ready. So let me ask this question again. What kind of cops wind their automatic assault crossbows during questioning? Colombian cops. Very funny. You know he's not a cop. At least not the kind we're used to dealing with. I lift my eyes to cast a glance at the black-clad man collapsed in the alley, and then lower my gaze again to the half a weapon in my hands. It was pointed straight at my chest just a moment ago, but now it's smashed into 2 pieces. This policeman is unconscious. If Blaze remembered the doctor's instructions when she struck, then he should still be able to cling to life. The Rhodes Island team arrived in Toronto yesterday. No matter how many times I experience it, this kind of speed always surprises me as a pilot. Rhodes Island is in the process of steaming to the Grand Night territory, and we've crossed over the entire Western Wastelands by air. The entire Western Wastelands, I say. According to the plan, after Amiya and the Doctor finish their business, we'll take the same route back to Rhodes Island. The Grand Night territory might not have finished its urban subdivision assembly at this time. All I know is Rhodes Island was invited to visit during the Kashmir's Major, but I'm in the dark about when and why. But anyway, the sooner we can head back, the better. If I wasn't in such a hurry, I wouldn't mind taking a few days off to chill in the metropolis. But after this, I'm not in the mood for that anymore. Are we safe? Nope, not until we leave Toronto. Maybe not even until we leave Colombia. Check for me if he's still breathing. It'd be nice if you made sure he kept on breathing. Alright. This is my first time seeing such a powerful automatic crossbow. Are these weapons common in Colombia? Automatic weapons like that are a Colombian specialty. I wonder how the Doctor's doing. As soon as the raid started, the Doctor and Amiya left in a car. No clue if the autopilot system that Closure was fiddling with will work, though. What a disaster. Even those two got caught off guard. They're only human after all. Sometimes it happens. They took over the hotel and seized all the drug samples we kept behind. Whatever. We can worry about that later. We've got to think of a way to get out of this city safely first. We've lost everything, but you're still not standing by my side. Then what has it all been for? Just to leave the faintest sliver of hope? But hope? Hope. Don't you know that hope is a cruel thing indeed? When you realize it can't be undone, when you realize you are powerless, when you find yourself nothing but desperate, hope is enough to drive a perfectly good person mad. But you want to say something, but you can't move your body. You seem to be drifting in the void. Everything before your eyes so familiar and yet so distant. These are a part of your memories, floating alongside you like fragments. Like this, you continue to drift with your ceaseless thoughts, watching the familiar woman before you gradually fade away. You open your eyes, and before you stretches an endless rocky desert. You see a strange, ugly iron bucket helm. A peculiar man seems to be looking your way, but you cannot see his expression through that rough bucket helm. "10:43 a.m. Clear. Gaspar Wildland. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, friend. Can you talk? Ugh. You? Who are you? Where am I? The friend awakens, little rabbit. Doctor! You feel someone tightly embrace your waist. But before experiencing this warm embrace, the cold, hard touch of the rocks behind you and the throbbing pain in your head remind you that all is not well. I'm so glad you're awake. I don't know what I would have done if you didn't wake up. How are you feeling? Does it hurt anywhere? I'm fine, just my head hurts a little. Your head hurts? Did you hit it? Let me have a look. Worry not, little rabbit. There is nothing wrong with this doctor, at least not physically. On a spiritual level, however, one cannot say. You were mumbling a great deal in your slumber. But before you complain, I did not listen closely. Who are you? Pardon me for not introducing myself. As you can see, I'm a merchant. You can call me Cannot, or Mr. Good Enough, should you prefer that instead. To be honest, friend, that display you put on earlier was simply too exhilarating. It is not every day one sees someone performing Originium arts while flying off a cliff. A most excellent show indeed. Off a cliff? What were we? This should be Columbia's eastern wastelands. That is correct, little rabbit. This is Gaspar Wildland, and you two are quite fortunate. Fortunate? Yes, quite fortunate indeed. 2 kilometers further south is a poisonous swamp, and had your car gotten stuck in that, good luck getting it out. Where are the others? The other operators split off on their own. I'm sure Blaze is taking good care of them. But we can't get a hold of them, or any other branch offices. What about the communicator? We left it all on the bad guy. Not just the communicator, we didn't even have time to pack food or water. What the heck were we doing here? Sounds like a desperate situation indeed, friends. But there's always a way, if you don't mind. Might as well. I'm quite familiar with this area. I can show you the nearest messenger outpost where, should all go well, you will be able to contact your friends. Who attacked us? An excellent question indeed, but the only ones who could answer it are no longer able to speak. Eh? The bucket-headed man points to the nearby cliff, where a unique-looking armed vehicle is emitting a thick black smoke. By the looks of things, it's been wrecked for quite some time now. Mercenaries. They've been chasing us even after we left the city. Dedicated to their job. Dedicated to the point of giving up their own lives. To be frank, Colombian mercenaries range from peerless to useless. And the ones with the resources to hire such dedicated mercenaries can be counted on one hand. They seem to have taken quite an interest in you, friends. How exactly did you offend these great moguls? So it was them. What the heck happened? Eh? So, Miss Amiya, are you really unwilling to consider the offer? In Colombia, you'll be hard-pressed to find a more suitable partner than Mama John's. We can provide fairly favorable terms for Rhodes Island's drug sales. Thank you for your generosity, but we're only here for technical exchange. Rhodes Island has no plans for any deeper-level commercial cooperation. And the Eripathy and analgesics we brought are still undergoing trials. These are more of a proof of concept than a finished product. The process of researching and developing Eripathy treatments is long and complicated, and in these areas, we still have many opportunities for cooperation in the future. Many opportunities for cooperation in the future? They planned this from the very beginning. Should we contact the police? Police? Friend, you don't seem to understand where you are. Mama John's is the largest firm in Tikaranto. The chief of police boasts of his connections to their corporate leadership in order to display his status. I suggest you change your mind. The fact that they dared to steal your goods in the urban core means that from the very beginning, they never thought anything of you. It's all my fault. I bought into their talk. I'm just as responsible, Amiya. I should have known too. Mr. Goody? Ah, what is it, Miss Rabbit? You just said you could take us through the wastelands, right? That I did say, Miss Rabbit. How do you plan to do that? Were you a catastrophe messenger? That is nothing you need to concern yourself over. I have plied my trade in the wastelands for many years, and that has given me a knack for avoiding catastrophes. Of course, I do ask for a small guide fee, 2 refined originium ingots in this case. Not too much to ask for in such a situation, yes? We only have Colombian gold certificates, and won't be able to pay you until we get in touch with our ship. Is that alright? No problem, my friend. Doctor, what do you think? We could also figure a way back to the city to meet up with Blaze and the others. This gentleman seems to have made the choice for us, eh? That is scarcely the case. We always have many choices at any point in our lives, but of course, we tend to pick the best one from the available options. I hope we can have a fruitful relationship in the coming days. Of course, my friend! I trust that this will be a most enjoyable journey. What have we gotten ourselves into? 5 hours later. As I said, bandits are not the biggest threat in the wastelands. I once knew the most courageous local. He even... Doctor, give me your hand. Oh. Phew, we're up. How many hills have we crossed? This is only the second one, Doctor. Just... Can we rest for a minute, please? Doctor, sit down here for a minute. Friend, at your speed, we will be on the road for at least another whole day. Doctor might not be able to maintain such a brisk pace. Sorry. We can slow down a touch, but... Why can't we go a bit slower? Even as a merchant of the wastelands, there's a limit to the amount of food and water I can carry on me. If we slow down too much, we will inevitably run into a supply shortage. If that's the case, Mr. Cannot... Is there a forest nearby? I've heard of an oasis in the wastes of eastern Colombia. There is, but what use is it? Night, above the wastelands, in a dark mountain pass. A ton of flame consumes dry branches, and the sound of a wooden spoon tapping against a bowl echoes across the canyon along with Amia's humming. These vegetables, as well as the mushrooms here, are pretty much all edible as long as they're cooked through. This kind is slightly toxic, but can still be eaten in an emergency. I should have given you more credit, Miss Rabbit. To be honest, most friends from the nomadic cities have no sense of how to survive in the wilds. Many I know will never once step foot in the wastelands. I see that you have a decent survivalist skill set. Where are you from? Rimbilliton? I would not be surprised if you were in fact from Rimbilliton. Actually, the doctor taught me all this a few years ago. Huh? I did? Yes, back then. Doctor, are these edible? These vegetables, as well as the mushrooms here, are pretty much all edible as long as they're cooked through. Those were trying times, harrowing times, but they were also good times. It seems that something is stirring in the back of your mind, but it gradually blurs out. You try to recall that scene again, but the vague memory is like bubbles that occasionally rise to the water's surface, only to disappear just as quickly. Doctor? Is this something that happened before then? It's nothing. It did happen a few years ago, but it doesn't matter if you can't remember. She lowers her head and continues to stir the bowl, but the smile on her face seems somewhat lonelier. I must also say, you've chosen a most prudent location to make camp. Even though we've made a fire, our position is not easy to detect. Who's looking for us? Bandits, bounty hunters, and countless rust hammers. There are no shortage of annoyances in this land. Rusthammer. I've heard that name before. They're a group of vicious marauders, right? That description would not be a very rigorous one. Rusthammer is a loose organization, and it is made up of various smaller groups. For example, there is Fiend's Gang, made up of Sarkaz, and also a group of strange folk who worship catastrophes as gods. I think they're called Followers of the Arcosaria or something. They worship catastrophes? Sarkaz? Arcosaria. Sarkaz? I heard something about a Rusthammer gang in Sargon that calls themselves Arcosaria Devils. They seem to have been searching for an Arcosaria war god with massive horns on its head. An operator from Colombia once told me that Rusthammer used to be just a few, small, scattered groups. Over the past few years, though, their numbers have greatly increased, stretching from the mountains of Ursus to the wastelands of Colombia. Our world is not a peaceful one, friend. And the wastelands is no exception. You will encounter all sorts of strange people and strange occurrences. But you will adapt. Here, Doctor, dinner's ready. Thank you, Amiya. Very good. What a heartfelt scene of intimacy. Mr. Cannot! I'm simply jesting. My apologies. Please do not take it seriously. At this rate, you will lose everything. You will be alone, with nothing. Is it worth it? Loneliness is a poison that erodes the mind. How much do you think you can withstand? By the time you awaken, there will be no kin at your side. Nobody will recognize your sacrifice, let alone remember it. Is this the future you look forward to? You wake up. A crimson glow spills forth from the distant horizon, and the darkness left onto humanity by the shadow moon gradually ebbs. Frigid wind gnaws at your cheeks as it blows across your face, and the land of Terra once again ushers in a new dawn. You're up very early, friend. Morning air is refreshing. Where's the little rabbit? Is she not awake yet? Maybe the aroma of breakfast would be more effective. Short-tailed fowl beasts don't have much meat, but they can suffice as breakfast. This is a specialty of the Colombian wastelands. Worry not, it's free of charge. A new day comes to Terra, and the situation has not changed as far as I can tell. Nevertheless, good morning, friend. You were talking in your sleep last night. Your mental state has seemed a bit unstable. Do be careful. What did you hear? I am a trustworthy person. I didn't go out of my way to listen, let alone remember anything. Plus, you were only mumbling. Couldn't really hear anything clearly. But, every night, the little rabbit is very concerned about your sleep talking. Pardon me for being nosy, but after all the chatting we've done on our journey, it is hard not to take certain impressions. Have you lost your memories, or something of that sort? Yeah. I see. If that's some sort of secret, let's say I never asked. It is an uncouth question indeed, and I asked out of simple curiosity. Some things happened to me, and I lost some of my memories. Maybe most of them. Occasionally, I will recall some of them, but just tiny fragments. Well, maybe not occasionally. Only a few rare times. Friend, I have a vague idea of what's going on. Suppose your memory is a spread-out newspaper, and now someone has spilled a bucket of paint on it. You can only see bits and pieces of the content through the gaps in the paint, but you can't grasp the full picture of that content. I can't even say if your analogy is accurate. I don't know. It sounds like something that defies all words, friend. But I am no psychiatrist, and there's not much I can do for you. Sometimes I even find myself thinking about the kind of person I was before all this. I don't know who I am. I can only piece myself together from the words of others. That's not important, friend. Our existence is often based on how others perceive us. The sum of yourself is but the feedback of auditory, visual, and emotional interaction with others. It doesn't matter what kind of person you are, but from a social point of view, it should be quite clear what kind of person others need you to be. They're all the same. Do you perhaps know some way of restoring my memory quickly after I make up my mind? I do, but I can't recommend it. Let me think of how to put this. Our lives are like an elastic belt. If you stretch out one side, the other side will contract. If you want to restore your memories quickly, you will have to endure many unmanageable consequences. That quaint head of yours might not withstand such a tussle. Besides, this only applies to the most common forms of amnesia. Whether for your own sake, or for that of the little bunny who you value so much, I'd recommend just taking things easy. By the way, the little rabbit's up. Doctor, good morning! Morning, Amiya. I'll leave you to it then. I'll go fetch some firewood. Amiya stands beside you quietly, watching the sun rising in the distance. The rays of light are slowly melting the cold tones of the wastelands. Every piece of the rocky desert dyed by the gradually rising sun. Perhaps you have never set foot upon this land, but in a corner of Terra's vast domain, you once wandered with Amiya. You once left your footprints in this sparsely populated world. This should have been your impression, your fragments of your memory. But the truth is, this is the story Calcit told you. In the cold wind of the early morning, you rack your brain, trying to find a tangible thread within your hazy memory. The light of daybreak, the cold wind of the wastelands. You and Amiya, Amiya and you. You can remember, and yet you cannot remember. Amiya takes hold of your hand. Doctor, are you okay? I'm fine. I remember it was around the same time. We spent our first night in the wastelands and watched the sun rise over the horizon, just like this. You asked me a bunch of weird questions. Of course, all that happened years ago, but it seems like it was just yesterday. Sorry, Amiya, It's okay, Doctor. As long as you're here, one day, things will get better. The next day. 2:39 p.m. Clear. Messenger outpost. Several huge engineering vehicles and armed off-road transports make a circular formation on the rocky, barren expanses, surrounding several makeshift sheds. The noisy din of generators and the roar of running originium boilers can be heard near and far, intermingled with the loud conversations of travelers and messengers. The Messenger Outpost, an oasis of civilization beyond the ecological oasis of the wastelands. Your destination. Finally! We've arrived safely at the post. We didn't encounter any major difficulties on our journey, nor did a catastrophe befall us. You are quite lucky indeed, friend. The third car from the left is the messenger contact station here. You might be able to contact your group there. The messenger rates here are pretty good. But the room over there has the logo of Mama John's on it. Are you sure it's fine? As long as you keep a low profile and don't cause any trouble, there won't be any problems. This is a messenger outpost after all. Even in Colombia, few companies will go out of their way to get on the messenger's bad side. Doctor, wait here for me. I don't stand out as much as you do, so I'll head down to the messenger contact station. Mr. Cannot, can I trouble you to stay with the doctor for a while? I'll be right back. Don't worry, little rabbit. I'm good at hiding people from prying eyes. There won't be any problems. Relax, friend. Look at those armed vehicles over there. Do you see those anti-armor turrets? Trust me, it's very safe here. Here, have a sip. It's a specialty from a local microbrewery. Give it a try. Is this beer? Indeed. I've heard the owner of this microbrewery is an infected. Unexpected, yes? Even among Colombia's pioneers, there are few who can accomplish this much. Now is not the time to drink and make merry. Fair enough. Why don't we go relax over there and listen to the news? You know, the very best thing about Columbia is that they provide radio-based stations for all the wasteland outposts. You can hear the news on the radio from just about anywhere. Almost all cities have intra-city broadcasting, but the decision to cover the wilderness with base stations is unique in Terra. You should take it all in and treat it like sightseeing. The armed conflict that occurred in the northern district of Tikaranto has gradually subsided. On site, police found evidence of a large-scale crossbow shootout, but have not apprehended any suspects. The Tikaranto police announced that one of the parties involved in the conflict has ties to a foreign company, Rhodes Island. The specifics of this organization are not known at this time. Some sources note that this foreign company has certain commercial conflicts with a local firm, but the spokesperson of this local business declined to comment on the matter. The police believe that this may have been a terrorist attack on Tikaranto, and the specifics of this armed conflict are pending further investigation. Doctor. You're back, little rabbit? The people at the messenger contact station didn't come to work until 3 past noon, so we'll have to wait. The news just now. It sounds like your people have withdrawn successfully, which is a good thing. But Madame John's probably got what it came for. Mama John's probably got what it came for. Most regrettable. We're the victims, but the police are looking for us. Something like this is a routine operation in Columbia. That bunch moved quickly and wiped their asses in advance. Don't dwell on it, friend. You'll leave this place soon enough. It's too late to manage this problem now, but be more mindful about it next time. What do they get out of a batch of semi-finished medicine samples? Very well. It seems you've made up your mind. Are you familiar with Columbia's business, my friend? How many times have you had to deal with them in the past? Rhodes Island has had some simple dealings with a few Columbian technology companies. Oh, I'm sure simple dealings are decently good on the surface. But, my friend, the ugly and indecent parts are not often placed on the table for everyone to see. Come then. I will take you someplace so you can see something fun. Next. Hello, I need this month's dose. Sure, let's take a look. Mr. Dave, is it? Ah yes, I saw your application. You've been a model employee this past month. Here's your monthly medicine ration. Thank you, thank you. Would it be possible to get next month's dose in advance? My wife is in pretty bad shape lately, and I need... Mr. Dave, according to company regulations, we are unable to provide any medication in advance. Thank you for your understanding. But as you know, we always prepare additional medicine for commercial sale, and you can always go next door to purchase more erypathy suppressants. But... Company regulations, Mr. Dave. Thank you for your understanding. Next! What is this place? Shh, hush. This is the Frontier Department of Mama John's. Keep a low profile. They're passing out medicine to the infected? In Columbia, many things operate in a way unlike elsewhere in Terra. For example, consider the Wasteland Pioneers. Pioneers, the lifeblood of Columbia's westward expansion. The writers of Columbia's wilderness stories. The protagonists of the Columbian dream. They sign a contract with Mama John's and open up land in the barren wastes, establishing residential areas for Columbia and its companies. Depending on how they work, companies will also provide them with medicine and supplies as a sort of wage. Here, take this. What on earth? This is the medication that they give to the infected. You're the expert here. I doubt you need me to explain. This is not an erypathy suppressant. Of course not. You know better than me. This half is a generic painkiller, and the other half is a nutrient solution. why? It's not a question of why, don't you see? They don't need to sell real suppressants. These pioneers, infected from all over the world, have never seen a real erypathy suppressant. Though these things can't actually suppress erypathy itself, they can relieve the symptoms of the disease. The product of Mama John's works, and works quickly, and that's good enough for them. The concept of suppressant is new to Terra, and naturally they wouldn't know. Since they can make painkillers, they don't need to make real suppressants. Why do they care about our technology then? That story would be even more interesting. Did you know, before Mama John's became a big name, they were just a donut chain? How could they have mastered the technology to produce drugs? All their pharmaceutical production lines are purchased from other companies, such as Beachbrella, Tower Mountains, Rhine Lab. Now that they sell painkillers as suppressants and make so much money, do you think the other pharmaceutical companies will sit on their hands? They've been thoroughly beaten down by other companies, but they've also learned a whole lot. This time, they've decided to directly off their partner, something that is distinctively Colombian. With your batch of samples in hand, I suspect the landscape of their cheap drugs will soon change. A more efficacious drug with a stronger analgesic will convince more people that this is in fact an erypathy suppressant. How can that be allowed? Rhode Island samples are not erypathy suppressants at all. These samples haven't been tested for safety yet and might have serious side effects. We haven't... Let me tell you what will happen next. Mama John's will use your technology to make more and more suppressants at lower costs. Of course, those poor pioneers will become the guinea pigs. Will they die? Let me tell you the truth. Even without Mama John's, they will still die. Colombia's frontiers have been bought with the blood of the pioneers. Their life expectancy is not long regardless. But those who remain, those whose lives were not claimed while paving the wilderness, are ever more likely to work for them in exchange for these so-called suppressants. This medicine gives some short-term pain relief. Maybe it can even buy them a few extra years. Then, the newspapers across Colombia's major cities will push headline after headline of their great achievements, right on the front page. Mama John strides into pharmaceuticals, bringing new hope to the infected. Impeccable! As for the truth, it is not at all important compared to the actual effectiveness of the analgesics. Of course, you can tell these poor people those drugs you're taking can't actually cure erypathy, but can be best as regarded as expensive painkillers and placebos. And then what? You keep telling the truth, saying that even the best suppressants by far can't bring back their completely normal lives, and that they will continue to be accompanied by sickness and pain until they die. On the subject of erypathy, Rhode Island indeed stands at the bleeding edge in this world, so you know the truth. But is it a truth that they can stomach? And this is Colombia, my friend. Nothing will change, and everything makes sense. People come to Colombia with hope, create value with hope, and die with hope. But we can't just sit around and watch them use Rhode Island to... See, this is very practical. You cannot save them. Nobody can save them. Not to mention, it is difficult even to protect yourselves now. For the infected who harbor hope in their hearts, hope never existed in the first place, and you know this better than they do. You should contact your people sooner rather than later, and find a way to get back. I don't want to admit it, but facts are facts. Doctor... I know. Hope is a cruel thing indeed. When you realize it can't be undone, when you realize you are powerless, when you find yourself nothing but desperate, hope is enough to drive a perfectly good person mad. People believe what they want to believe, and that makes them feel much better. You look over at Amiya. You watch her ears slowly droop, her eyes filled with sadness, then stained with helplessness. The two of you have seen much, but you both will see more still. You both understand all this, and in fact, there is no need for the Wasteland Merchant to explain it again. In the distance, along the border between the wastelands and the sky, the sun slowly sinks. Day is about to draw to an end in Terra's wastelands. The light is about to fade, and the twin moons will soon take its place in the sky. The sun will still rise tomorrow, but not every infected will see the coming dawn. Even if there are enough drugs to suppress erypathy in this place, it is too late for so many more. Nothing will change. Nothing will change? But, Mr. Cannot, even if hope will continue to bring us pain, I still think it's worth it. If we give up on hope, what is the meaning of everything we've had to endure? Doctor! Oh, quite the rousing speech, friend. You did not convince me, for you will find it hard to do so, but I felt the sincerity of your emotions. I do like how you still refuse to bow to reality despite having seen it. Though, to be honest, you've already embarrassed yourselves. Let's put that speech aside for now. I know that you two are very practical people, so I will pose a very practical question. I'm quite curious. What will you do next? You've already arrived at the messenger outpost of the border, and you will be leaving this place soon. Do you plan to turn around and head back? What then? To be frank, my friend, unless you have some way of getting your things back from them, you will have a very hard time resolving these matters. Will you charge there single-handedly with all guns blazing? Should I lend you a burden beast so you can look like a hero of the Vale from the indigenous Colombian people's folklore? Oh, I almost forgot. You can't fight. Mr. Cannot, please don't say that about the doctor. No, Amiya. He's right. In order to get Rhodes Island out of here safely, we have to get crafty. From the sound of things, you plan to appeal to reason? Four days later. 4:01 p.m. Clear. Columbia Detention Center. All right, you can leave now. Thank you. Thank you very much. Doctor! It went well, Amiya. Don't do that again! I was worried sick! You played your bag of tricks quite well, my friend. Very clever. I'm glad that the little excursion I took you on was not in vain, nor was me waiting out here for a few days. I really did underestimate you. But I'm a bit scared of you now, my friend. I'll take that as a compliment. I still don't understand what happened. Simply stated, our clever friend here voluntarily surrendered to Colombian Customs and Border Protection, saying that your company had smuggled a batch of erypathy-related drugs into Colombia. If you know anything about Colombian laws, you should know that erypathy-related drugs are the most strictly regulated medical products. The company that lobbied to implement this law in the past spent a lot of efforts to monopolize the drug market in Colombia. The information provided by our friend here definitely alarmed the Colombian Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Arts Units, and Originium, and they certainly aren't easy to deal with. Per protocol, the Bureau's security forces went there in no time and seized all items in this smuggled product trade. But we have complete contracts and records of our cooperation with them, which should be easy to find. That's the important part. Miss Rabbit, when they chose to attack you, they had no intention of leaving any footprints. They have destroyed all evidence of this cooperation, and nothing would match up in the investigation. So what kind of situation will prevent a company from leaving behind any evidence of a transaction? What else but shady business? So it was the Colombian government that seized all the samples. According to law, they will destroy these smuggled goods, and then there's nothing after that. Mama John's is pretty much omnipotent around here. But what if the scope extends to cover all of Colombia? Colombian Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Arts Units, and Originium. Their name might be a mouthful, but they have some competent people, and they'll be watching closely. I understand now, but even with that being the case, won't Rhode Island have a blackened record? This is Colombia, after all. There's not a company out there with a perfectly wiped rear. Pay a fine, sign off on the ticket, and it won't be too long until people forget about it. Perhaps people might have stopped caring already. After all, in order to cover their ass, Mama John's might have inadvertently given Rhode Island its best cover. And in the case the Bureau really came for Rhode Island, they would be the ones in trouble. Of course, your doctor did spend 3 days in the Bureau's detention room, which is its own price. It's hard for me to evaluate this move, Doctor. Dr. Calcit is going to be mad. I know. God. That she will be, but if there's anything I know about her... I wouldn't mouth off like that if I were you. Hi, Blaze. Oh, Blaze. The gang's all here. Ugh. The well-built feline operator is looking at you with eyes of helplessness. It's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine. Doctor! You caused a real big uproar this time around. Fines, fees, jail time, even the Colombian government investigating illegitimate business practices. But I have no clue how you managed to sort it all out. I almost had to call Dr. Calcit myself. Please don't. How the hell are you going to explain all this to her when you get back? It's fine. Don't worry about it. Beg for mercy. Doctor, please don't ever take a gamble like this again in the future. We could contact the ship and wait for support. Besides, Rhode Island actually has a contingency plan for dealing with situations like this. At least the trips to the wastelands was fun, wasn't it? Fun? I suppose. Just a little. Doctor, don't change the subject! After we get back, you have to tell the whole truth to Dr. Calcit. I'll help you with the report. Thanks. Then I suppose it is time to part ways, my friend. As I said before, our journey together was most enjoyable. Thanks for everything. We may meet again someday. I do believe we will meet again in the near future. Until then, I wish you good health. See you later. Who was that? Gave me the sense there was something else under that nice front of his. Doctor? There's something I'd like to ask you. Back then, you said you needed Mr. Cannot to do a little favor for you. What was it? "3 days ago. 3:27 p.m. Clear. Somewhere in the wastelands. You're a real crazy one, friend. That's a rather destructive trick you've got there. So, what do you need my help with? Though we don't want to use force, I still want to keep the option open. I'd like your people to protect Amiya up until she leaves safely." Oh, hold up, easy now. What do you mean by my people? Mr. Cannot, I hope you can at least be honest with me now. The strange man has gone silent, but you can't judge his expression under the thick bucket helm. However, you feel that the silence harbors neither anger nor dissatisfaction. Well done, Dr. Starlight. I thought my friends did a good job concealing themselves. This whole time, I took you for an intelligent but overly sentimental person. You truly are full of surprises. Well then, Dr. Starlight. Of course I can help you with this little favor. Though I believe that with Miss Amiya's skills, she won't really need my help. But business is business, and what can you offer me? I'll turn a blind eye to the documents you took from our car. How does that sound to you? Beautifully played, friend. It's a deal. If everything goes well, we will see you in 3 days. Of course, my friend. I wish you the best of luck. Alright, you can come out now. You alone? Is it over? Not quite. The upcoming show should be quite entertaining. That one's extremely dangerous. We shouldn't let them go. We could come up against that Rhodes Island. What should we help them? Why should we help them? Just trust me. The existence of an organization like theirs is good for us. The longer such people live, the more interesting this world will become. Let's go, friends. We still have a lot of work to do. Okay. That was a lot. Welcome to Colombia. Lovely. How confident are you in dodging Cal? I'm, we'll just... as long as Amiya's near me, she'll, it'll be fine as long as Amiya's there with me, right? How do you yet again find the Colombians' world? It seems like the entire thing is based in corruption. But then again, I kind of feel like everywhere is based in corruption, so I'm not entirely sure it's that unique in corruption. Rhodes Island is a big place. You can easily escape. I'll ask Manticore for help. You never told us you had to serve jail time. It was strategic. Welcome to the Wild West. Everything is corruption, Starlight 2025. Also, thank you very much for the raid on Twitch. I appreciate it. Good that my little notification thingy is working. Did you notice that? I ended up having a little thingy if I can't address a raid. Thank you for the raid. I appreciate it. Yeah, Pop, I hope you are doing well. You're probably not here still, but I still appreciate you. Thank you. Couldn't escape the star crimes forever. Vessa would want it to be like 3 times longer. Cerulean, thank you for joining the Adventuring Stargazers. I appreciate it. Thank you, thank you. There was a raid? Yes, you didn't notice that there was a raid because it was on the Twitch side. Alvessa refuses to pay the bail money. Amiya does not grant you safety from Calcit. It is a lot better to have Amiya next to me than to be alone with Calcit. Are you kidding me? Oh gosh. I thought you were just dialed in? I was. That's exactly what it is. Like, when I'm doing reading, I can't address raids, so I made a little boop to say, hello, thank you for the raid. I will have to wait until I'm done with reading to address the raids, but I appreciate you guys. Boop. All stars left is 180 cert, broke yet again. Yeah, I really wish I could be as rich as the people in Rankwood, who seem to be throwing away certs like they're candy. Cal's gonna call in a favor from W. Shush! Elsa knows all, sees all, and hears all. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine, guys. Bushmaster, thank you so much for gifting memberships. Thank you, thank you. Oh my goodness, thank you so much, Bushmaster. That's very kind of you. If you just received a gift membership from Bushmaster, please remember to say thank you. That is very kind of you, Bushmaster. Thank you, thank you. Fun for the family. I appreciate you greatly. HR will be confiscating one of these. It is most definitely not fine. You're cooked. Oh, look. She can't, if Amiya's with me, she can't kill me. MG accepting bribes. MG's Colombian. Oh my gosh, you guys. Where's my bribe? He's a quirky little bunny? Yeah. What do you mean by that? This is what you say? HR taxing the stream. You guys are crazy. Alright. Do I really want to continue onward? I don't really have a choice, do I? Okay. Alright. Just to let you know, because I realized that I forgot to do this in the beginning, but just as a little heads up, whenever I go back to doing the reading, when I am doing the reading, I have alerts turned off, and then when I stop doing the reading, like for this little in-between moment, I turn alerts back on. So I realized I forgot to do that in the beginning, unfortunately, but I'm trying to make a habit of that when I'm reading, alerts are off, etc., etc., and then it can just be easy, clear, no distraction. Alright. Let's see here. We will hide this. There we go. Okay. Alright. Yep. Alright. Memoria. (4:11 p.m.) Overcast. Visibility 10 kilometer. Rhodes Island Landship. Medical cabin. Right now. Right now. Remove the electrodes. My head feels hot and dissented. Not good. You'll feel better after a quick rest. Dr. Starlight, I've scanned your brain 7 times over the past month or so, and the results are always the same. There's nothing wrong with your medial temporal lobe, and the neurons in other brain areas are as active as they are in most young people. Meaning you don't need to come to medical for these unpleasant tests so often. And what's wrong with my memory? There's no doubt that you've lost a lot of your memory. Even someone like you wouldn't be able to manipulate the results. Those memories are episodic, chiefly concerning the subjective awareness of your identity, and even more so, all about your experiences before you fell asleep in the Chernobog sarcophagus. In contrast, your procedural memory has recovered extremely quickly. From my report, or Amiya's and Doberman's observations, this conclusion is clear. Your ability to command, as exhibited during the Chernobog incident, is not significantly worse than before. In other words, I'm still useful? To Rhodes Island, you are far more than just useful. Even if you truly lost all your memories and become an ignorant bystander, Amiya would not have regretted saving you, and there will always be a place for you at Rhodes Island. In any case, I believe that the skills you possess will play just as key a role as they did in the past. I need to be on her good side. I don't know what makes her happier, honestly. She's gonna get mad if I say that it's for her, so... I want to be able to help Amiya. I know. And I've seen how hard you've been working. After leaving Lundman, we've been making our way through the wastelands for some time. The operators need an opportunity to rest, Amiya in particular. Likewise, you also need a chance to catch your breath, don't you? I just want some time to adjust. With PRTS to help you, it won't take long for you to adapt to your work at Rhodes Island. However, I don't want you to push yourself. Rhodes Island is not the only thing that has just emerged from a terrible disaster. You have as well, Dr. Starlight. Your physical indicators have more or less returned to normal, but your memory is still damaged, and your mental state is unstable. As a patient, overwork can only harm you. Amiya is also a patient. Amiya knows you're concerned about her, and she's been paying more attention to her health lately. I have no choice but to admit there are some areas in which your words hold more weight than mine. Dr. Starlight, in the span of one short month, you've taken over the staffing of several departments on this ship. In addition, I've seen you reviewing past battles together with combat operators to further explore the possibilities of tactical optimization. You've even been reading during this entire examination. Are you looking at the briefing submitted by the new operator who just reported in a few days ago? Furthermore, I've seen your notes. Those records about even the most trivial of the operator's details. Those flashes of tactical inspiration. Those calculations for determining Rhodes Island's business efficiency, and even those scrawls that I can't make sense of. They are all evidence of your commitment to your duty. Although most of these tasks can be completed with the assistance of PRTS, I think this is your preferred method. It's just a way of organizing my thoughts. As the density of your notes increases, your cognition also improves. All of your abilities are recovering rapidly, not only due to the retention of your procedural memory, but also due to your extraordinary efforts. Conscious exercise will help your brain return more quickly to your pre-comatose state, and may even bring back your memory faster than expected. Do you want me to recover as quickly as possible? I am your doctor. There's not a doctor out there who does not wish for the quick recovery of her patient. That said, if you end up collapsing due to overwork, you'll disrupt Amiya's condition as well. So you... You care about me a little? These sentiments of yours that occasionally leak through are quite unlike the past you. While this is rather intriguing, if I am the object of your feelings, let's just say we've no need of that. I've told you many times over that ensuring your physical and mental well-being has always been one of my duties. So yes, even here, I still care about you, even without a battle. Alright. Today's exam is over. As I said, you don't need to report back here at the same time next week. The regular morning and evening checkups will continue for a while. Lancet 2 will look after you for me. If we ever find that your physical condition does not support your continued work, you must immediately return to medical. As for now, you may return to your work, Doctor. We didn't get beat up, thank goodness. Rhodes Island landship. Hallway outside the bridge. Oh! Earth Spirit? What brings you here? I've updated the geological monitoring report I submitted this morning. You needed to make an adjustment so soon? That's unlike you. The numbers changed quickly. Made me miss my afternoon nap. Forward the report to your team leader. My recommendations are at the bottom. Sure. Strong winds warning, is it? That's no problem. The engineering department strengthened the storm shutters 2 days in advance, and logistics notified everyone to stay away from the at-risk deck areas. That's not all. Keep reading. Huh. There might be a strong windstorm ahead of our route? Should we slow down or make a detour? How dangerous is this windstorm you're talking about here? I don't know. I looked at anomalies in the data and made my best call. All I know for sure is there's more than one cyclone forming ahead, and it's far more intense than anyone would expect. Sounds pretty vague. We set our route a month ago. It's already been improved. We're looking at a big mess if we change it on the fly. You were in that meeting, right? We chose the route for its super low-risk profile. Over the last decade, caravans from Lundman to Lithanian have been back and forth over this route dozens of times. Yes, in theory, we've avoided the catastrophe-prone areas, and the probability of encountering danger is low. But you're also not sure? The bosses want us as far away from Ursus and Lundman as soon as possible. Whatever. I just needed to make sure you got my warning. Deciding what to do with it is not in my job description. That's up to you. Settle down, Earth Spirit. We've got protocols. I'll notify the team leader and we'll discuss. There's no time for that. Huh? Doctor? Why are you here? Shouldn't you be in your office? I was going up onto the bridge. Now that's some coincidence. If you're taking the report, are you going to explain the situation to our team leader in person? Situation is urgent. I'll let Amiya know. What? It's that serious? Well, that's not good. Doctor, you believe me? I believe my operators. Then I'll go to the bridge with you. I'll continue to observe the situation in real time and report to you and Amiya. That's the best option, then. This is within the scope of my duties. 4:39 p.m. Overcast. Visibility 4 km. Rhodes Island Landship. Bridge. Warning. The wind speed is increasing rapidly. At these numbers, our visibility is going to fall under 1 kilometer within a few minutes. Did you turn on the assisted driving function for sandstorm mode? We've had it on for a while. It was part of the itinerary. But, Amiya, this might not be an ordinary sandstorm. My god. What is it, Pavel? Sensors detecting thunderstorm clouds ahead. Open the PA. Tell the whole ship that Rhodes Island will pass through a thunderstorm shortly, and raise the alert level by 1. Central Command personnel, slow us down right now! We're rocking a lot. What's the situation? The pressure on the hull side panels is skyrocketing. 70% of the outermost storm shutters have been damaged and are basically falling. Also, multiple abnormal heat sources detected near the hull. Energy amplitude approaching critical threshold. Does this mean... Yes, it's a catastrophe. Ah, Dr. Starlight! How can this be? No time to explain. Alright, I got it. All hands, activate Code Red Catastrophe Alert. Evacuate all personnel on the first deck. Bridge excluded. Gather all non-engineering personnel from the 2nd to 6th levels in the central area for safety. Central Control, maintain minimum speed cruising. Navigator, how long will this desert thunderstorm last? These sudden onset storms usually pass within an hour or two. It's hard to say for sure. Doctor? Earth Spirit? Earth Spirit, your analysis. Yes, Doctor. Mr. Pavel, the doctor gave you the report I completed an hour ago. Multiple small cyclones within 2 kilometers? This doesn't bode well. This catastrophe is no ordinary desert thunderstorm. We could be looking at a maximum strength windstorm. Can I borrow one of the sensors on the bridge? Of course. I should have seen it myself. It's alright, Mr. Pavel. This is an extremely abnormal phenomenon and well beyond the scope of normal catastrophe prediction. An experienced catastrophe messenger would have some trouble spotting all the signs in time. If not for the doctor's assistance, I would have treated the outliers as errors and glossed over them. We still have time to move things in the right direction. Doctor, Amiya, the small cyclones ahead are converging and intensifying. In other words, the core of the multi-cyclone vortex is about to generate. Once the core forms, I estimate the cyclone will reach 2 kilometers in diameter and last at least 7 to 8 hours. What happens if Rhodes Island maintains its speed as it approaches the core? If we come into contact with the vortex, the ship's hull may collide with high-speed active originium dust, roughly equivalent to the simultaneous detonation of hundreds of maximum payload originium bombs across the bulwark. I'm sure you can guess how that might go for us. Do we have enough time to change course? I can try. The core of the windstorm changes directions very quickly and can reach a maximum speed of nearly 1,000 kilometers per hour. Then there's no point in us trying. Amiya, even if we try a full-speed retreat, if we get unlucky with the direction, Rhodes Island won't escape the storm. And it seems like the only thing we can do is stay put. Mr. Pavel, give me the potential damage assessment. If we spend 7 hours in a thunderstorm of a similar scale, the first to 6 decks will be damaged maybe 15%. Of those, the first deck will take the hardest hits, and casualties are likely. It'll be the biggest loss the ship takes in a year. But I don't see any options. There is a way. Doctor? We won't have to take damage. Yes, if we have to stop in the wastelands, we could face other threats. Since we can't retreat and don't want to stop, what else can we do? Doctor, are you suggesting that we continue straight ahead? That's out of the question. Visibility is too low. Even with assisted driving, I can't navigate. I'm from Sargon. Plunging headfirst into a sandstorm like this is suicide. I understand your concerns, Mr. Kamal. But I trust the doctor. Dr. Starlight, are you sure about leading Rhodes Island through the catastrophe zone? I need Earth Spirit to keep calculating the real-time coordinates of the vortex. Good. Please cooperate with the doctor. Calculating a safe route in such a short time sounds like a bad joke. If anyone can do it, it's our doctor. I am so dead. I've heard stories of the battles and all, but operating the land ship is nothing like field command. I don't know about this. Of course, I don't doubt the doctor's abilities, but I've never heard of this real-time calculation method. Earth Spirit, please. It just might work. Earth Spirit, can you make sense of the doctor's formulas? No. But they feel a bit familiar. Right. I heard about a similar formula from some whiz kid a couple days ago, but the doctor's version is more complicated and varied. Work with the central control staff if you need to change course rapidly. Let's head forward then. I'll help you issue instructions. No, Doctor, that would be too inefficient. Rhodes Island only needs one commander right now. From the moment I saw you appear on the bridge, I trusted that the situation would definitely turn around. Attention everyone on the bridge! From now on, I am transferring command of the Rhodes Island landship to Dr. Starlight. Notify closure and have her put all cabins into energy-saving mode. Got it, Doctor. Message from Closure. The engine is ready, and she wishes us good luck. There's nothing wrong with going a little crazy every now and then. If I knew I'd be sailing like this, I would have brought some booze. Rhodes Island, all ahead full. Ugh. I'm getting a nosebleed from the speed. That's because I elbowed your nose. Sorry. But the whole place is shaking so much I can't control my limbs. Is the seismic damper malfunctioning? Looks like it's not just my imagination. The whole ship's falling apart. Earth Spirit, you haven't taken your eyes off the screen at all. Cyclone number 2 is continuing to move 30 degrees southeast. Cyclone number 3. Cyclone number 4. Doctor, hold my hand! I've got you, Amiya. Ugh. Doctor, did I step on your foot? Don't worry about it. You can hold on even tighter. Are we shaking less? Hard right, now! I didn't even notice that strong wind just now. If it caught us, there's no telling we would have been able to stabilize the hull at this speed. Did the downburst make contact with the ground? Only 2 minutes until the core of the storm forms. Maintain current trajectory and keep moving forward. Wait, I see the cyclone. There's one on the left and another on the right. We're surrounded. Rhodes Island is going to collide in just 2 or 3 more minutes. Keep going. It's impossible to avoid them. We don't have enough space to maneuver. Trust me. I'm trying real hard, Doctor. But I don't trust myself so much. Forget it. If Amiya's with you, I'm on board too. Even if I have to tie my hand to the steering handle, I'll keep pushing it forward until the very end. I just regret agreeing to swap shifts with that stinky lad, George. Ugh. 75 meters, 50 meters, 30 meters. I've never seen a catastrophe cyclone up close before. Doctor. Amiya, you afraid? I'm a bit nervous, but I'm not afraid. We've been through times like this together before. The closer we might be to despair, the bigger everyone's hopes are, the more incredible the outcome will be. Doctor, this is what you taught me. Hope comes from the commitment to never give in, even at the bitter end. Yes, Doctor, you once said the exact same words. Red alert! Red alert! Attention, everyone! Prepare for impact! Just like before, we'll get through this crisis together! Yes, we survived back then. The wind is subsiding, and the color of the sky is changing too. Report! Rhodes Island has left the catastrophe zone. The damage to all deck levels is less than 5%, and nobody was injured. Thank goodness. My nose hurts. Pavel, do you know you hit my nose again? So what if I did? We're alive, I say! Alive! Fine, but you owe me a drink. Whatever you want, it's on my tab. I almost made a big mistake. Doctor, it's all thanks to you. Absolutely brilliant calculations, Doctor. Doctor, is your command always so thrilling? I'd like to get another taste of that sometime. Doctor, how in the world did you pull that off? It's like you've got prophetic arts or something. Suddenly showing up on the bridge right before we get hit by a catastrophe. To be fair, I was pretty anxious about the whole thing. Doctor. Amiya hugs you suddenly. and you realize that the hands on your waist are squeezing you tighter than they were at any point during the storm. Thank you. Thank you for standing by my side. Oh. Not half bad. I did what I had to do. The relationship between the self-replication speed of Originium and the increase in energy. You applied this knowledge to the calculation of wind catastrophe trajectories. You demonstrated similar abilities in the past, helping your colleagues at the time, mitigated losses from catastrophes. Some called you a catastrophe expert. But we both know what you really specialize in. Look, I really don't know. That formula, you still remember it. It just jumped right into my head. You created that formula yourself. You recovered a lot of information about Originium and catastrophes over the past month, and you left a lot of calculations in your notes. Perhaps the sudden crisis dredged up the latent memories from deep inside your consciousness, or perhaps you reinvented it using the knowledge you left behind. The fact that you could recall this formula proves that you still retain a basic understanding of the nature of Originium. In other words, you've never forgotten your identity as a researcher of Originium. This seems to be my duty. You may see the study of Originium as your duty, but know that our actions should never be restricted by duty alone. Dr. Starlight, what drives you to pursue the study of Originium so fervently? I want to bring an end to this calamity. I once heard an answer to this question. It was very similar to what you said today, but also completely different. The person who uttered those words had an instinctive desire to unravel truths unknown, and also worked hard to save lives. But sometimes, salvation also meant destruction. That is what the same person told me. Do you still harbor that same answer deep within your brain? Does it still count as being there, even if I don't remember it? Amiya said your performance on the bridge today was much like that of an actual prophet. Why are you staring at me like that? The rational part of me wants to believe in science. When the results of your first brain examination came back, I thought I saw some errors in the process. And so there was a second time, a third time, and even a seventh time. The rational part of me told me that repeating the same results 3 times was enough to prove that you weren't lying. Without a shadow of a doubt, you really did lose a lot of your memories. You don't remember what you did to Teresa, and you forgot why you were standing here in the first place. All of this has caused a significant dichotomy between you and the person I once knew. But just like I allowed you to do the 7th test, in this moment, I once again find myself doubting. Who exactly is standing in front of me? How much of the past remains, and how much of you blooms anew? You're being sentimental again. Perhaps. I won't deny it. Dealing with you always has a tendency to sway my emotions. But this is also born of extreme rationality. I hope you understand, there can be errors in our measurements, and in your case, I can no longer tolerate any errors. It's something I've wanted to ask you for a long time. Setting aside your role as a doctor, do you want me to regain my memories? Situations are rarely black and white, and the same is true of human emotions. I've not concealed my hatred for you in the past, but no matter how much I hate to admit it, there's something else there too. You want me doing everything I could before. If it's only strength I needed, I believe that you are good enough as you are. Perhaps you can do even better. Now, it's my turn to ask you. Dr. Starlight, do you want your memories back? I mean, I don't know how far back my past goes. I don't think I want to remember killing anybody. But I don't remember any of my moments with Amiya either. I feel like some things would be easier if I knew, and other things would be a lot harder. And I don't know what I don't know. I don't... I must have done this for... There must have been some reason for this. I don't know if I want to remember whatever it is that I've done, but I also don't want to forget everything with Amiya. But even if I don't remember, Amiya still does. Amiya remembers even if I don't. And, but is that just running away? I mean, one's blissful ignorance or facing reality. I don't know. I don't know how bad it could be. And the thought terrifies me to not know how bad it could be. I don't know what makes more sense. Would you take the red pill or the blue pill? The eternal question, huh? What do you think you've done? I've apparently killed somebody. And that's the only thing I know. Would you be happy to not remember? I genuinely don't know. I mean, I feel like I'm getting along with everybody as it is now, and I don't know. I don't know how much of this is just running away, but I don't know if one of the choices makes me a coward. Is it so terrible to be a coward? I was actually given that choice. I don't think I'd be strong enough. Jeez, I have no idea. I don't know what I don't know. I... wasn't expecting to get hit with this. Shoot. I think the other thing that the other thing I didn't... The other thing that I'm not considering is that if I was to get all of my memories back, would it change who I currently am as a person? Would that affect my personality? If I knew if I knew everything that I didn't know now, would that change how I think going forward? I mean, it sounded like I was not a good person, but Amiya seems to not mind for some reason. And if I was to regain memories and become an awful person again, I don't know if I would want to see that in myself. It's torturous to not be able to remember things. But I feel like I don't want to change who I am now either. I feel like... all you've experienced through Act 1 and base it to this question with how you feel. I don't know how much harder things are going to get. I don't exactly know why Cal hates me so much. But Amiya still cares about me, and she still remembers everything I've gone through, apparently. But... I'm so nervous that knowing things would change how I view my current relationships with everyone. I don't want to think of Cal any differently, and I don't want to think of Amiya any differently. I feel like it would just be better to move forward. I don't know how much that affects, but... And frankly, I don't know if you'd be mad at my answer, too. Carol, I don't know if you're expecting me to say something in particular, or if I'm a coward for running away from my past and whatever I did to you. I'm not trying to ask about blissful ignorance. Ignore the problem, there's no problem. I'm not trying to ignore a problem. I'm not trying to ignore a problem, I just... I don't know. I really don't know, it just hurts me to make a decision. I'm so ignorant either way. I wish Anya was here. Neither answer is the correct one, but neither are wrong. Ugh. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry I'm taking so long. This is genuinely making my head hurt. I apologize for taking so long on this. I wasn't expected to get thrown into this. Where's the silence where you need it? Yeah. I'm trying to think about my own experiences up to now, and we just got out of a giant catastrophe. And somehow we were able to get through that. Only because it was a way I'd remembered how to do it beforehand. But... Just, oh my gosh. I have such conflicts of how I feel because on the one hand it's been so frustrating to not know anything, but I don't know if I would even be able to handle knowing everything. And I just don't know how that would... Yeah, I do. I do fear a supposed past self. The only thing that I know about a past self is only what Cal's told me. And it sounds terrifying. The only thing I know about myself is from Calcet. Ugh. I wish I knew how Anya felt. I feel like it's not even a decision that I want to make without her. If I remembered everything, would it make Anya happy? Even if they were terrible, terrible things. If I could make Anya happy, then maybe it'd be worth it. I feel like I'm so close to picking one option and then I get thrown and end up wanting to lean towards the other. Would Anya want you to be cured or be healthy? Oh, jeez. We're considering, like, an entire lifetime. oh my gosh. I'm having such a hard time with this. Oh, jeez. Ugh. These words are weighing on me like fire and ice. Ugh. I'm sorry. This is not good. Sorry. I mean, would it just make my life so much? I'm trying to think how much worse it could be. I mean, if I knew everything, would it ruin my life? I don't know. I feel like if I have to be entirely honest with myself, I don't know if I would be able to handle it. I don't know if I would be strong enough to handle it. There's a part of me that still feels like that's not a good excuse. I don't think I would be able to physically handle it, but that's not a good answer. Putting your current life on the scale, that sure is a way to say it. Putting your current life on the scale. You live with that knowledge that something important may be missing. Oh. I either go insane from remembering, or I go insane from not remembering. I either succumb to madness due to not knowing anything, or I succumb to madness knowing everything. Thousand what-ifs on life's change, on history's change, on could-haves or have-nots. Look in the mirror and tell me, do you have the heart to still be you? We go mad either way, don't we? I don't know. I feel like you just... A little bit of knowledge is a dangerous thing. I feel like my demons are gonna catch up to me either way. I'm gonna go mad either way. I'm gonna be tortured either way. I'm playing the role of Phantom and having ghosts haunt me either way. I don't think I have the strength to know everything, but I don't have the strength, but I don't think I get to decide that either. Alright. Final answer. I think I would have to know and just take whatever consequences come with it. To have a missing piece of yourself. To be running away and not thinking that you're strong enough. And to not have everybody know why you can't understand their own feelings. I feel like you just have to. I feel like you just have to, regardless of how painful it is, and you're gonna have demons following you either way. So, I feel like that's my final answer. I have zero confidence in this answer, but I have to make one. So, even though it would be extremely scary, and I don't even know if I could physically handle it, I feel like a little bit of knowledge is such a dangerous thing. You have no idea! You have absolutely no idea! Just... I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Oh my god. Why do you do this to me? Why do you do this to me? Why would you do this to me? Is that not enough? Is my torture... Is this Is this emotional manipulation? What is this? Oh. What is this? What the heck? Why would you do this to me? You want to take an IRL break? This game is made for you. I can't handle this. My head hurts so much. What the heck is this? Oh my gosh. Okay. Okay. Why would you do that to me? Has it really been I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh my gosh. I'm so going to go insane from this. I am definitely going to go insane from this. My existence amounts to nothing. Okay, I can't handle this anymore. I can't handle this anymore. I am so tired. Literally over 30 minutes. Okay. 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 Sure. Why would you do this to me? Illusion of choice. Oh. My head hurts. My head hurts. Oh. Okay. Okay. Fine, you win. Okay. Your answer doesn't matter. I've seen your hesitation. No kidding. Once your memories come back, many of your questions will be answered. However, not every answer will satisfy you. You will know where all the emotions pouring into you come from, whether it is the hatred from me and W, the unconditional trust from Amiya, or even further back. I can't even imagine further back. Don't start. Excess memories, intense emotions, will instantly flood your entire brain. Trust me, what you will feel at that time will be far greater than exhaustion. Don't do this to me. Please. I'm so tired. We just got out of a catastrophe. Why do you do this to me? What you should fear even more is, when the past finally catches up to you, you must decide. What if those memories are too strong and engulf all the hard work you've put in recently, and pull you back into the abyss that you failed to crawl out of over countless years? Why do you do this to me? Why won't you just tell me who I am? Once the current you is defeated, everything you've worked so hard to build will collapse, and your will may no longer be your own. So, let me ask you once more. Please don't. Please. Please, I can't. Please don't do this to me. Please don't ask me again. Dr. Starlight, are you ready? No, I am not! Please stop this! Please. Please, please, please. Cal, please. I'm not. I'm not. Please don't make me say it again. I can't. If luck is on our side, you won't need to answer this question anytime soon. I want to thank you. Over the past month or so, you've shown me some new possibilities. Especially today. I learned that you still remember the formula. It turns out, you and I are not the only ones preparing for that day. What? I suspected this long ago. That home-use life functions restoration device was not supposed to have the defect of deleting one's memory. In particular, it's impossible to selectively delete the part of the brain most likely involved in decision-making, but still retaining the parts most meaningful to you. Dr. Starlight? What I think is, she trusted you even more than I could fathom in the past. That being the case, we should continue to work hard. Just as I've said countless times already, I will help you, as long as we continue to stand together. (7:43 p.m. Overcast. Rhodes Island Landship, Command Center. Professor, are you here? Oh my gosh, why? Why me? Hey, Fiala, come in. Professor, they said you wanted to see me. This is for you. Is it about my application to become an operator? Oh, has it been approved? That's great news! Everyone said you and Miss Amiya would turn me down because of my condition. I convinced her. I see. You even went out of your way to get it approved? Thank you. The briefing you submitted this morning helped Rhodes Island through a crisis. You mean the catastrophe this afternoon? Professor, did you read my analysis? You were able to predict a catastrophe through an increase in originium activation on the surface. It was just a hunch. They said the density of originium near the surface around here would be very low, but I saw the same situation in a volcano in southern Lithuania. Even a small amount of originium proliferates rapidly over a brief period when the conditions are right. 2 days ago, after finishing my daily treatment, I was walking around the dorms as usual when I saw the approaching phenomenon from the dust samples on the porthole. In sandy terrain, a sudden burst in originium energy will cause the ground temperature to rise rapidly, leading to a significant increase in the possibility of large-scale wind catastrophes. I'm sorry. I can go on and on about this stuff. Please continue. You've already seen the report, right? Busy as you are, I never expected you'd read our random notes. I've said before, I'm a hard worker, but some folks are thinking I can use arts. Do mystical originium arts like that exist? I understand. You were making a joke. If you're not too busy, I'd love to stay over and have a nice chat with you again. You're welcome to look around. There are so many books on your desk. Annals of the Great Yan Classics, A Tower Without a Legend, Columbia Judicial Observation Notes, Conquest and Assimilation. Professor, are these the books you normally read? Your interests are so diverse. It's nothing like the bookcases of the other professors I know. I think this one will interest you the most. These are your catastrophe research notes? Just a rough draft. Thank you. Thank you so much. I'll study these thoroughly. If I have any questions, may I come to talk to you? You're always welcome. The young scholar clutches the notes you handed her tightly, lifts her head, and looks at you with conviction-filled eyes. Professor, my life has been a series of wonderful surprises since coming to Rhodes Island. The stability of my Ripathy has given me a lot more confidence about my future, and people like you have given me the hope to keep moving forward. If you're working so hard, then what reason do any of us have to give up? Professor, thank you so much for leading Rhodes Island forward, and on into the future. Oh yeah, that just had to be thrown in too. Oh. I am so sorry. Need a break, have a Kit Kat. Oh. I did not think my head could hurt this much. Oh goodness.
The prismatic fox for 10. Remember how physically large Rhodes Island is, and then think of the wind force required to make it rock violently. Then remember we weren't even at the catastrophe yet.
Huh? What? Bushmaster, thank you for the Ko-fi, but what? Oh. Oh, that is not... Okay. Alright. That was barely a gust. Okay. 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 Oh. The sandstorm of the start 40 minutes ago. Oh. Alright. Let's say we fit in one more. Surely the next one won't break me any further, right? Right? Was waiting for the break to send it. Thank you, Bushmaster. I'm so sorry you had to wait for so long. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Oh. I don't know what I was expecting. I knew it was not going to be pleasant, but I didn't know what I was expecting. I just knew that I fully have gone in blindly. I specifically asked people in the Celestial channel for help just to get art just to make a thumbnail. And I mean, okay, if we do this, if we are able to like get this like read through, right? Half today and half Saturday, then probably means I have to do one more, and I will do my best to not take 40 minutes. How did that even happen? How did that even happen? I'm so sorry. Oh. Next thumbnail will be a drawing of Star going through all 5 stages of grief. Oh, lovely. Alright. I mean, logically, I should be able to break it into 2 days, right? Existential crisis, understandable. Yeah, slightly. Alright. Let's just stop beating around the bush. Okay. Alright. I expected today it would be done. How naive of me. I at least had it scheduled out. I at least had it scheduled out. Okay. Next one. Valorum. Oh. I bet 300. It's just a pile of broken scrap metal. Not worth the trouble. You sure? I'll bet 500 then. That thing's important to us. How do you figure? Intuition. Not tricky to find old gadgets in the waste, though, when catastrophes blow them out all the time. But intuition tells me that that's not your average trash. What are you two chatting about? Oh, Doctor. Good evening, Dr. Starlight. We went to a drifter settlement yesterday while on field duty, and turned out something fairly interesting. It's just industrial scrap. I've seen this stuff all over the Western Wastes. Not worth your time, Doctor. But incredibly, it's industrial scrap that still works. It seems to be playing some kind of audio. Music? You'd be hard-pressed to convince me that's music. The circumstances it was found in? There was a strange machine in the middle of the drifter's settlement, painted red, very heavy, and made strange noises when anyone came near. The drifters weren't too keen on approaching it, but they still set up camp around it. We ought to have moved it back. Dame Calcit might know the specifics of its technology. Spend cash to drag back a pile of industrial scrap? Have we ever had the luxury? Perhaps that banshee might take a liking to it. If you have some personal beef going on, I suggest you don't bring it to work. Sounds interesting. Time permitting, we can visit that settlement together sometime. Maybe I'll be able to tell you what it is. Looks like our gamble's gonna pay off then. Then it's settled. Once Her Majesty's affairs are worked out for the time being, together we'll go. And keep to that deal. You awaken to an unpleasant mechanical noise. A normal day. Before your eyes is the ceiling of an ordinary living room in Rhodes Island. The furnishings look just as ordinary, though the hum of the ventilation system seems a bit deeper than in other cabins. You know why. It is one of the most inconspicuous parts of your many peculiarities. You wash up perfunctorily. This part isn't so different from ordinary people. You take special medication to maintain your condition. This part is a bit different from ordinary people. Next, you don the full-body protective clothing that hampers your normal activities. But considering your physical condition, it is necessary. It may also be temporary, depending on your recovery. These are all orders from Dr. Calcit. According to her, you used to know more about these things than she did. But now, only she can look after your health. Of course, Dr. Starlight, you are not like that one. Is there anyone out there like us? Is anyone out there like you? The world has not been kind to you, and you know this. Ah, Doctor, you're awake. Considering how late you stayed up, you can rest a bit longer. You're not going to urge me to work today? Doctor, I'm not trying to supervise your work or anything. You should rest when it's time to rest. Oh, by the way, Dr. Calcit stepped out for the day. She asked me to tell you that the meeting is postponed to tomorrow. In other words, there's nothing on today's schedule? Yep, that's why you should take advantage of it and rest up. Resting up, huh? 7:33 a.m. Rhodes Island cafeteria. Oh, Doctor! Good morning! Eh? Oh, Doctor! Morning. Oh, Doctor! You actually got the time to come down to the cafeteria for breakfast today? Yes, I have the day off. Would you look at that? I never seen you in the cafeteria so early. What impression have I given you? What impression, huh? Probably a workaholic, chronically overworked all year round. Seriously though, this is long overdue. You've been like this ever since we left Lundman. Don't want to see you break down. Be a little kinder to yourself, Doctor. After all, we were... Ah! Yeah! Damn, the hell are you doing? Loose lips sink ships. Huh? It's fine. You're exactly right. Oh, it's not that, Doctor. It's not what I meant. Well, whatever. Enjoy your breakfast. I'll leave you in peace. The operators gradually disperse, and you find yourself sitting in the corner of the canteen. A rare occurrence indeed. Rhodes Island. A place that makes you feel both at home, yet also estranged. Just like those clear but also unrecognizable memories. A pharmaceutical company with the primary goal of resolving the problems surrounding the infected. It is said that the past you was intimately connected to all of this. It is said that you played a key role in its establishment. It is said that you were the brains of Rhodes Island, and that Rhodes Island was the extension of your will. A portion of what was spoken of has been slowly returning to you, but you are not sure if this is good or bad. You have forgotten too much. Rhodes Island has welcomed you, but you don't know if you are worthy of its welcome. Your breakfast lies before your eyes, a bland but healthy meal. You know that this, too, is Calcit's work. Over the past 3 months, your life has been filled with these feelings. Like 6. Everything is so strange, yet so nostalgic. Conceptually, these feelings are completely contradictory, yet they manifest in front of you together. 3 months ago, during the sudden outbreak of rioting and conflict, they, Rhodes Island, rescued you from the epicenter of the turmoil. In the ensuing conflict, too many people lost their lives. So many of the deceased recognized you, yet you do not recognize them. So many of the deceased heard about you, yet you have not heard about them. You gave your utmost, gaining greater respect in the process, and your hard work finally bore the fruit of victory, yet that victory still came laden with inevitable pain. Up until now, you've had but one question. A question that you've repeatedly raised to yourself but have never been able to answer. Is it all worth it? (2:45 p.m.) Rhodes Island Integrated Bioprocessing Unit. Stretching out before your eyes is the most unique warehouse in all of Rhodes Island. A large number of unclaimed objects are stacked in this warehouse. A petite Paro operator is struggling to wipe down a badly damaged shield. You recognize the shield, and remember the former owner of that shield. You remember that tall, somewhat slovenly operator who always sported a hearty smile. He was once your friend, or so you've been told, but you don't know anything. You're weary of this repetitive, contradictory nonsense, but nothing better encapsulates the current state of your existence. All the specifics sift through the cracks of your fingers. You extend your hand to catch them, but the fine sands of memory are dragged down by gravity and fall into the abyss, grain by grain.
Doctor? How'd you end up over here? How'd you end up over her?
This is Ace's shield.
Yes, it belonged to him. Every week I come by to keep it clean. It's so heavy. Can you lend me a hand, Doctor? It's really, really heavy. I always have trouble lifting it back onto the shelf.
You step forward to help her, but soon realize that you are too weak to lift the shield even a single centimeter off the ground. Perhaps you were able to do it in the past, but such a task is no longer possible for your convalescing body. Calcid has reminded you of this, as well as everything else.
Hey! Doctor, don't lift with your back! Never mind. I can do it myself.
Sorry, I'm no help at all.
Don't worry about it. They always said you're the smartest person on Rhodes Island.
Let me help.
Alright, just like this though. And be careful. Phew, we did it!
By the way, who are they?
Let's see. Instructor Doberman and others used to say that, as well as the elite operators. Including Ace. He used to talk about you. He said that you could stand up to half an army by yourself.
Were you and Ace close?
Huh? Were we close? Ace was close to everyone. That's the kind of person he was. Very reliable type. During training, he taught us all sorts of things. Fighting as a team, cooperation, break-in encirclement. The elite operators are always busy, but Ace took the time to drop by the training grounds. I always thought to myself, when could I become as reliable as Ace?
Beagle stares at the shield with a sad smile. The dust from the warehouse plaster her hair and face, but the Paro operator doesn't seem to care. You look around the room, and in the corner of the shelf, something catches your attention. Various photos and ornaments stacked in a small, messy box. Underneath it are some old, faded documents. This is...
Oh, that's... Doctor, you shouldn't.
What is it?
These are things that belong to... They're from the reunion fighters back in Lundman.
Don't do this to me.
The handlers in the processing room were discussing what to do with these for a long time and ended up stuffing everything in here.
You flip through a few photos. These old, yellowed, stained photos. Almost all depict Ursus people. Most of the people in the photos are clad in ragged clothes, showing a mix of awkwardness, joy, or numbness when facing the camera. On the back side of a silver pendant in the box is an engraving in the Ursus script. To Ivana, my darling daughter, may she always know happiness. Among them are former enemies, as well as former friends. You know that some of them fought against Rhodes Island to the bitter end, and you also know that some of them became allies of Rhodes Island in a time of crisis. You don't know all their stories, but you do know the suffering of the infected. You know, and yet you do not know.
Sometimes, those of us who were there will also ask ourselves this question. All of us have been through disaster, Ursus, the infected, as well as us, but was all of this truly worth it? Sorry. I shouldn't be venting my frustration, but every time I come here and see these things... Anyways, please forget I said anything. Doctor? Doctor?
It's fine. Don't worry about it.
It's already 3. Gotta head to the training grounds. If I'm late, Instructor Doberman's gonna chew me out again. Gotta go, Doctor. Remember to lock the door, okay?
The Paro operator rushes out, leaving you alone with the ownerless objects stacked in the warehouse, save the slowly settling dust of time. You are about to turn and leave, but a strange red shadow enters your field of vision. Curious, but just not enough to stop your movement. It's just a strange red machine. 3:53 p.m. Overcast. Rhodes Island landship, lower deck. Real talk. Don't you guys get hot in here all day? Not even thinking about heading up to catch some fresh air? This heat is just right for us Goliaths. Besides, someone's got to keep an eye on this equipment. Rhodes Island depends on the power system here. Whatever keeps your motor running. Getting ready to leave? Yep, there's nothing for me here. Plus, that old hag Calcit's giving me the evil eye again. I'm actually really surprised that Dame Calcit even let you back on. Do you have any idea how many swords the hag has hanging over my head right now? More than you could ever... Oi, look at the corner over there. Want to guess who's standing in that corner? Are you going to Victoria? Yes, so. Just had a few words for my dear old pals before I go. We all know what you're trying to do. We also know we can't talk you out of it. But I have to say it one more time. Going to Victoria is not a good idea, W. I think Sarkas maybe shouldn't. Whatever. I'm just a boiler worker, and I shouldn't even be saying this stuff to you. Forget I brought it up. There's something I've wanted to ask. Most of the gang has already left, so why are you staying behind? With your skills, don't you think you could make a good living anywhere? Her Majesty left us this home. No reason we should leave it. Having a place we belong to sure as hell beats wandering the wastes. Besides... Burly sarcasm knocks on the nearby machine. We have to protect the things Her Majesty left behind. I guess it's not much different from what you're trying to do. And you know that, W, better than anyone else. Protecting a boiler? That big old hunk of steamy machinery is your home, huh? Basically, yeah. I'd say this boiler is my purpose in life. Laugh if you want. Yeah, you know this isn't exactly a laughing situation. Yeah, you're still thinking of us, and we appreciate that. Safe travels. Saps. It's time to go. A voice from the shadows. W looks up, and though the light isn't on, someone has been staring at her from the darkness since the beginning. I know. Aslan, you're the most impatient one of all, aren't you? But you're really not gonna let me see that doctor or the dragon lady? There's a lot that I still want to say to them. Aw, giving me the cold shoulder? So, Innes is still alive? What's the situation in Londinium? Then, what's the plan? You used to be with Teresa's. Fine. Spooking me with a silent treatment isn't easy. You used to be a lot more talkative. I guess seeing me pissed you off? I'll leave then. Happy? It just so happens I had some stuff to check in with the old hag first. Otherwise, I wouldn't have wanted to be here either. We work together for now. Work together, huh? I'm not sure I'd call it that. It's more like making sure I've got all my targets nice and clear before we meet up there in the war zone later. I'm not gonna randomly stroll into Rhodes Island, don't worry. Though, those folks sure have an interesting look in their eyes. It's a warrior's look. You see it in battle. The sarcasm in the shadows does not answer. W knows of this habit, in Aslan's line of work. The rule is, each extra word makes your head hit the ground a little bit faster. My dear sweet Aslan, you're not my boss anymore. See you in Londinium. What's wrong, W? You haven't left yet? Huh. That's weird. How come there's nobody here? 4:10 p.m. Rhodes Island landship, lower deck. The roar of machinery fills the lowest level of Rhodes Island, the area that provides power to the entire ship. The Sarkas Goliaths are the operators responsible for running it. On weekdays, the bottom level is populated pretty exclusively by technical staff. You are wandering around aimlessly. In these 3 months, you still have not set foot in every corner of Rhodes Island. Rhodes Island is like a small nomadic city. Though much smaller in scale, it is still well equipped. Its internal structure is far more complicated than it seems at a glance, and the power plant is one such example. Why is it so lively here today? Nobody ever comes down to a place like... Oh. Doctor? Someone from HR said you were looking for me? Yes, that's right. Actually, I've been wanting to talk to you for a while. But you didn't need to come down here in person. I'm drenched in sweat, and it's way too hot here for you. Why don't we take this somewhere else? How does that sound? No problem, but what do you need me for? It's just about some nostalgic stuff. Sorry to make you listen to my rambling. The burly sarcasm man puts down the wrench in his hand and removes his dirty work gloves. From the bottom of his toolbox, he takes out a small teapot and the accompanying teacups, contrasting sharply with his large, rough hands. Do you drink tea? Am I the one bothering you? Don't worry about it. You're here. Might as well take a break. I'll be glad to have some, then. You. I won't try to hide it. In fact, I never thought I'd get a chance to chat with you like this. Seems like you're in a bad mood. Is something wrong? Something to do with the weather? He knows more about Rhodes Island than you. You suddenly feel that it is this Sarkas and his fellow workers who are keeping Rhodes Island going. They grasp the lifeblood of the landship in their hands, yet they deliberately avoid the public eye. You are grateful for everything they do, but don't know why. It's hard to see the weather when we're working down here. Even through the lower windows, all you can see is the dust kicked up by the treads. I don't know what complex problems you're mulling over, Doctor. I'm just a simple boiler worker. I'm not exactly the big brain type over here. Speak your mind. Maybe I should spend more time talking with everyone. Yes, Doctor. Miss Amiya and Dame Calcet are always ready to help you, so you should probably start with them. There are too many things, and bottling them all up isn't a good option. Some things are hard to talk about, but you seem to know a lot. How long have you worked for Rhodes Island? I'm an old Rhodes Island hand, Doctor. We used to know each other. I took orders from you a few times before I started my technical work, even if you don't remember. The only advice I can give you is this. If they can't be the ones to answer you, who else can you ask to give you that answer? You are the ones she puts her trust in. She trusted in you, and she trusted in them. Looking for an answer, huh? In fact, I just saw W. Oh. Is she here? Doctor, you must know by now, but W and Rhodes Island have a connection, and you're mixed up in that too.
Really?
When a Sarkas like Flamebringer showed up at Rhodes Island, I knew this day would come. It's something. From Kazdale to Ursus, then to Lundman, and on to us here today, and even on into the future. We've kept moving forward, but we keep bumping into the same faces we started this journey with. Only now, they bring some of those far-reaching effects they left behind. "6:22 p.m.
Doctor, you're back? I haven't seen you all day. Where have you been?
Just wandering around the island.
It's fine. Getting enough rest is also a part of your job.
I feel kind of listless going a whole day without work.
Doctor, I'll tell you a little secret, but don't let Dr. Calcet know. Truth is, Dr. Calcet didn't have anything that important to do today. She didn't need to go out. She's seen how tired you've been lately and wanted you to take a break.
Oh.
But you look pretty happy? Did something good happen?
Nothing in particular. It's just been a long time since I've talked to people like this. By the way, Amiya, I think I saw something strange in the operator's storage room.
Storage room? Doctor, what do you mean by something strange?
Like, some kind of industrial device.
Oh, you're probably talking about that red industrial scrap. You might not remember, but it was a bet between Scout and Ace. One day, they brought that device back to Rhodes Island. Closure spent some time on it and decided it was useless, so she let it sit there in the warehouse.
Can I go take another look at it?
Oh, of course.
Among the various discarded, unused mechanical equipment in the warehouse, that strange device towers above the rest. The box-shaped device stands more than 2 meters tall. The red paint on the surface is clearly visible, but has been severely worn down under the perennial erosion of wind and sand. It's this thing. You're weird, Doctor. Why the sudden interest?
When they first brought it back, the box would make noises as soon as someone got close to it. But I think Closure broke it.
What do you mean I broke it?
It was already like this when I moved it back here. All I did was study it a little. I've never been able to figure out what this thing is really for. Originally, wanted to see if I could open it up, but ended up breaking 3 power saws without a crack. So, yeah. Doctor, do you have any idea what this is? Maybe some kind of safe? A safe this big and conspicuously colored? Maybe if you really wanted to attract thieves, I guess. Good point. You observe the enigmatic device carefully. There are no buttons and no gaps under its worn-out metal casing. You haven't seen anything like it before, at least in your existing memory. You have no impression of it. You lightly knock on the casing of the device out of curiosity. Huh? Doctor, watch out! Did anything happen? Don't worry about that right now, just stand back! After a violent rattling noise, the device lets out a small ding. The complete box-like structure suddenly opens, the once seamlessly shut outer shell sliding up and down like a cabin door. Inside the box-like structure, you see an artifact with a metallic luster. Unlike the wear and tear that the outside of the box had been subjected to, everything inside is as smooth as ever, with no trace of the passage of time. However, the man-made object within fills everyone with a sense of familiarity. This is a bottle of beer, right? No matter how you look at it, it's just a bottle of beer? What the heck? I thought there'd be something super high-tech in it. Something a bit more constructive. After all that time, it turns out it's just a vending machine? What's the point of making something this tough anyway? You need it to withstand an originium bomb? Ugh. But isn't that kind of a weird color for beer? I'll have to look into it some more. Doctor, do you know what this is? Nothing. Just a heap of scrap metal. What really matters is we got ourselves an extra bottle of beer. But closure, this beer. Just put it in the room next to Ace's shield. Wasn't that the bet? Cal gave you a day off. See, she does care. Oh. Cal does care for us. Alright, that one was... Oh. Oh. I think if you saw the word Frost appear in the reunion items in the store, we would have been here for another 30 minutes. I was very scared. I was very scared. Yeah. Ancient beer dispenser. Yeah, no, we dodged a big bullet. I was like, I was shaking. I'm like, no, they are not doing this to me. They are not doing this to me right now. So, W was here. W was here, huh? I feel like I'm not gonna I feel like I'm not going to sleep well tonight. Are we noticing a common thread? I mean, there's a lot of different things happening, but... More important than that, you saw something peculiar.
okay. W will be watching over you while- Vesa, can you not? Like, can you not? Jeez. Why would you do this to me? Like, what is your problem here? Oh. Ugh. Check under your bed for roaches. Ugh. Oh. Alright. This is, there's... I'm guessing there's... Okay, three today, 3 Saturday. I think that makes the most sense. Tee. Oh. Alright. Yeah, I think I'll save the rest for, Saturday. I'm sorry that I'm sorry again about the half hour. I didn't realize. I feel so stupid now. You don't know what you don't know. Ugh. It was peak. I'm sure a lot of people left. I am sorry. If that was you, I am sorry. It's okay, it was fun. You guys are very sweet, you know that? You guys are very sweet. You guys are very kind. We knew what we're getting into. I know, but I don't... you guys knew, but I don't think you expected this. It was peak entertainment. You guys are very sweet. I'm honestly very grateful that nobody in chat came in and said something like, you know, it doesn't matter. It ends with no. I'm very grateful that nobody said anything. That means a lot. So thank you.
Bushmaster just supported the Prismatic Fox for 5 half-hour well spent organizing your thoughts.
Thank you for the coffee, Bushmaster. I appreciate it. You need to get back into the rhythm. I do, yeah. I was sure you were gonna sit down and think. Not that long, but still enjoy the whole internal debate. I'm still kind of having a debate with myself, but... Were they organized, or was it like the SpongeBob scene with the brain on fire? It was a little bit of both. I kind of, like, towards the end, I was, in the beginning, I was trying to think, like, how would I react in this situation? And then I started thinking, wait, you're not thinking this through enough. And then I started doing all the pros and cons. And then I started thinking about other people. And then I kind of ended up in this situation of basically acceptance of insanity. Like, it was going to go badly no matter what. I kind of just, like, fully realized that there wasn't going to be a good solution. And that if I'm going to hurt myself, it was going to be problematic either way. And of course, I'm still not entirely, like, firm in my decision, but I just accept that, yeah. What a masterful psychic attack by Cal, throwing you into an external crisis only to tell you nothing about it mattered. Honestly, if that's her way of being angry at me and torturing me further, then, like, I can kind of understand that she would just keep playing that way. Unfortunately, I think we would never know what to do in that kind of situation. I'm guessing if I polled you guys, it would probably be, like... I feel like it would not be entirely 50-50, but I don't know. Will my worth be realized for those sacrifices? Oh. The poll would be hilariously close to 50-50. Well, also, you guys have way more information than I do. So you also have, like, all the storyline of everything else that I don't know. So I don't even know if I can make that into a poll. I can't even read that. I can't even fully read that. Imagine Cal sitting there staring at you for half an hour while the doctor has an anguished expression thinking internally, but she keeps a straight face because she's just that committed to being petty. Oh. Oh. I feel like she would somehow be able to handle that taking a half hour. Like, she could just stay there with a straight face. Ugh. Don't forget record restoration. I won't. I've kind of gotten to a habit where I tend to try to grab that, like, at the end. Since we're going through the whole thing, I might as well just grab it later. Anyway. That was a lot. That was definitely a lot. Oh. Alright. I think we're going to wrap it up here for today. I think we're gonna wrap it up. I think that, Gamba time? On what? I'm saving Gamba. I have used so many resources on Gamba. I have to save for a bit. But yeah, I will see you all Saturday. We will continue this Saturday. We will see how it goes for Saturday. Alright, I'm not sure what we're doing Thursday, but Saturday I will do my best to continue the internal struggle. And with that, I hope you all have a fantastic rest of your day, evening, or night. If you are new here, definitely consider subscribing on YouTube, following on Twitch, or joining our Discord. There is an Arknights channel, but please mind for anything past where I am at, including half of Vigilo, to just keep it in the threads. I would really, really appreciate that. And well, thank you so much, Stargazers. I appreciate your extreme patience. It really means a lot. Have a good rest of your day, evening, or night, wherever you may be in the world or the worlds beyond. And all the best.